Hey everyone, welcome back to Whispered Wonders. Let's enjoy today's story. Before I dive into today's story, I want to say a quick disclaimer. The content presented in this video is purely for entertainment purposes only. The theories and stories discussed in this video are speculative and are not supported by any evidence or proof. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright, with that out of the way, let me tell you about the time I stayed in a house that had, let's just say, something else living there. This happened about 2 years ago when I was house sitting for a family friend. They had this gorgeous place, 3 stories, huge windows, and a backyard that looked like something out of a magazine. It was one of those homes that felt a little too perfect, like it was hiding something. They were going away for a week, and I thought, why not? Free house, big TV, and a stocked fridge. What's not to love? But from the very first night, I realized something about that house wasn't right. It started with little things. I'd hear noises, soft creaks, faint taps, stuff you can easily write off as an old house settling. But then I started noticing cold spots, not just a chill, but these freezing patches of air that would move. One second the living room would be fine, and the next it felt like I'd stepped into a freezer. The first big incident happened on the second night. I was in the living room, scrolling on my phone, when I heard footsteps upstairs. Not faint ones either. These were heavy, deliberate steps, like someone pacing back and forth. I froze. My first thought was that someone had broken in. I grabbed the nearest weapon, which in this case was a decorative lamp, and crept upstairs, fully prepared to face some burglar. But when I got up there, the hallway was empty. The bedrooms were empty, and the footsteps, they just stopped. By the fourth night, I was seriously freaked out. Lights started flickering randomly, even though the family had just had the electrical work redone. Doors would close on their own, not slam, but slow and deliberate, like someone was gently pushing them. The worst part, though, was the basement. I'd avoided it the whole time I was there. Something about it felt wrong. Every time I walked past the basement door, I got this weird sensation, like I was being watched. On the fifth night, I finally worked up the nerve to check it out. The stairs creaked with every step, and the air got colder the further down I went. When I reached the bottom, I saw this huge old mirror leaning against the wall. It was cracked in one corner, and the glass looked warped, like it had been stretched, and that's when I saw it. At first, I thought it was my reflection, but it wasn't moving the way I was. It was just staring. Its head was tilted slightly, and its eyes, if you could call them that, were these dark, empty voids. I backed up, but the figure in the mirror didn't. It just stayed there, watching me, and then it smiled. I can't even describe the kind of smile it had. It was too wide, too unnatural, like its face was stretching to make it happen. That's when the lights in the basement went out. I bolted upstairs, slammed the basement door shut, and shoved a chair under the handle for good measure. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat in the living room. Every light in the house turned on, waiting for the sun to come up. The family came back a couple of days later, and I couldn't get out of there fast enough. I didn't tell them what happened because, well, what do you even say? Hey, your house is haunted, and your basement mirror is a portal to something horrifying? Since then, I've read up on mirrors and paranormal stuff, and apparently mirrors have been seen as gateways for centuries. I don't know if that's what I saw or if my mind was playing tricks on me, but one thing's for sure, I'll never, ever house sit for anyone again. So, what do you think? Was it my imagination, or did I experience something beyond explanation? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had a creepy encounter like this. I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching Whispered Wonders. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Until then, stay curious, and maybe avoid looking too closely into mirrors.